I'd love you to put your hands together, talking about a funny thing happened on the way to finding my passion. Lara.
Who here believes in the one? Go on, hands up. Who here believes in following your passion? Oh, plenty more. Interesting. I didn't put my hand up, not because I'm not leading the audience, but because I don't believe in either. Because I think that finding a person or a job that you love is not fated, it's created. Now, there's a lot of people in this room who, following your passion, it resonates with you. And you're the lucky ones. But you are, I guarantee, in the minority. Because the majority of people, like me, in following your passion, it's brought confusion and angst. So I'm going to share a bit of my story and the lessons that I learned in the hope that it will help you. Is that okay? Yes. Is that okay, guys? Yes. Okay. So a funny thing happened when I followed my passion. I ended up following my curiosity instead. 1st January 2013, I was ready, I was raring to go. Left job, check. All this time, check. The world was my oyster. All these ideas. Ooh, I could be a theatre or film critic. Ooh, maybe I could get to go to Hollywood. Ooh, maybe I could be a life coach. Or maybe I could study positive psychology. That's really cool. And then, well, maybe you're not going to make as much money, and maybe when you start doing this, you're not going to like it, and maybe you're more of a team person, like you don't want to work one-on-one with someone, and do you know what that is? That's the 14-year honed, legal, analytical brain of mine, shooting down absolutely every good idea that comes, because that's what I've been trained to do as a lawyer, anticipating the very worst. Do you know where that leaves me? In a straitjacket. And so, I turned to Matthew Hussey, who I went on a retreat. I'm like, Matthew, what the hell? I'm following my passion, and it's not fucking working. And Matthew's like, okay, Lara, this is what you do. Taking no action is absolutely worse than taking the wrong action. Because you know what? The wrong thing isn't really wrong because you get valuable lessons along the way. And no decision is ever actually final because you can course correct. So I realized, this is amazing. So if I'm not going to follow my passion, what am I going to do? And he says, Lara, you need to hone your skills, cultivate mastery in something. So, I think, all right, this sounds pretty cool. I can just get good at shit, in his words. So I discovered Pony, quite by accident, and I was hooked, and I loved it. And I went into it with absolutely no agenda at all. I just went because I just loved the joy of speaking and learning. And I was going to learn all these amazing speaking skills. And do you know what I learned, guys? I learned life skills. Things like when you push yourself out of your comfort zone, that's when the magic happens. And it's so great. We're so encouraged to screw up. Why? Because from your biggest screw-ups, that's when you get the most amazing learnings. And start before you're ready. Oh, this is a great one for the perfectionists among you. Because you don't start when everything is all perfect and lined up and you know exactly. You start before you're ready. So that's the second lesson. And the last thing that I would want to tell you is that do not let the focus on your goal become so narrow that you are literally like this and you do not see the bigger picture. I am so guilty of this, and I can use 1,000,001 experiences from my life, but since we're on the career theme, we'll go with that. So at the end of my career break, I started work again as a corporate lawyer. And I have to say that until probably about a week ago, when I would talk about my career break, do you know what kept going through my head? You failed. You failed. You're a failure. You had 2 years. You didn't figure anything out. You didn't radically change your life. You didn't follow your passion. You didn't even know what the hell your passion was. And then, when I was thinking about this talk, I realized, well, actually, that's not necessarily true. Actually, in cultivating my speaking, I've brought value. I've brought value to myself, and I've brought value to other people. And I landed the job that I'm in because the recruitment consultant saw my bio from a speaking competition online and thought I'd be great for this job. And my speaking and raising my profile has basically led to a really exciting collaboration on a TV project. And those things, that would never have happened before. So in conclusion, I just want to say that as you guys embark on any journey of change that you're going to embark on, you've got to remember these things. 1, change is a process. Change is a process. 2, your journey, it's personal to you. Stop comparing yourself with everybody else. And 3, I know it's easy to do this, but try to focus not on the destination, but on the journey. Because I guarantee that when you do that, that is when your biggest learnings will come.
I've got to say, I saw Ash watching with very proud eyes.
Yeah, it was.
I'm the reason he joined Pony.
Yeah.
All right. The thing I loved about that was the journey bit. There are 2 or 3 things in there. Get started, but the journey bit for me is really important. We're so busy looking at the end, and we forget to look around, don't we? That's really important. Would you like some feedback?
I would like some feedback. Dad, film the feedback.
Tells you the lawyer.
Last time.
Wait,
So-
he's not ready yet.
Would you like to pick who goes first?
Anybody.
Okay. Harold.
Oh my goodness, Lara. Passionate, informative, charismatic. I absolutely loved it. I was engrossed from the start to the end. I loved the way when you came on, just gave yourself that time to ground yourself, to pause, to look at the crowd. You was always in control all the way through. I love the message. I love the journey. You're talking about a journey, but even your speech took me on a journey, and I just adored the outcome of it. It was awesome, really, really good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any stretch?
No.
Come on, Harold.
Oh.
You need to grow as tall as him.
Yeah.
Accents, voices, there you go.
No, but it didn't need that. You understand? Because you're coming from a place of expression from yourself. It didn't necessarily need a side story to attach to it. You understand? It could be extended where you could maybe incorporate some stories to, if you had a longer time to speak on that subject. But what you've got now is a foundation, a framework, which you can definitely build on and stretch and extend to a 30-minute speech, a 40-minute speech, an hour speech, and that's when incorporating the relevant stories will come into the fold.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Me? I just love your storytelling. One thing that Lara's taught me is curiosity. Like that's one thing that you've taught me, because I've noticed about November, you're so curious with life, and you go out and you explore, and that radiates in the way you tell your stories. And it is so hard to give you a stretch because you are so connected. But kind of echoing what you said, you quite often make points. That's a thing that you do because that's the way you do your stories and your speech, because you want to teach people. So rather than maybe doing your 1, 2, 3s, maybe think of a different way of making your points. Like Errol told a random story to make a point that led to another story that made another point. And maybe there's ways that you can work your own way of telling stories to make a point, because you are so good at telling them. Obviously, you've got to find your way, but the curiosity is just beautiful. And thank you. Thank you.
Cool. Good job. So, no, seriously. It's almost like you kind of have a night when people arrive and they've arrived. And tonight I watched 2 speakers arrive. I watched Pau arrive as a speaker, and I've watched you arrive as a speaker.
Damn, you're going to make me cry, Elliot. Yeah, I like crying.
But it's true, right? Would you
Yeah.
agree that it was authentic, it was real, it was you? I could see that you've really integrated a lot of the learnings, but in your way. And, I was thinking, do I give her a stretch? Do I not? Because I'm always looking for the stretch, right? Because there's always another level. It was brilliant as you presented it. If I was to tweak it slightly, I would say maybe start with the points up front and then remind us at the end. The only other thing I felt that if you wanted to play, because actually your playful side started to come out there, so that was nice to see, is you could have given those voices in the head a character and kind of stepped to the character. But that's really stretching. That's like me really looking and going, okay, there's a stretch. Because as you presented it was brilliant. I can see now that you're ready, and it's time for you to get out there and stop, not stop performing here, but go out there and start speaking as well. Because you are just charming, graceful, sublime, and it's just beautiful to see. So good job.
Thank you.